Good day to you. My name is Maria Kądzielska and you are watching Poland Daily Culture. We're talking about movies, those who had the biggest influence also on international culture. Here with me is Łukasz Jasina. Thank you very much for this.
Hello, that's a pleasure for me to be here.
It's always, I would say, a lesson for me when I talk to you, because there are so many elements of movies which I realize I didn't know before. So I would say I feel humbled. But going through the Decalogue by Krzysztof Kieślowski, one of the saddest, I would say, but also the most interesting movies made in, I would say, altogether in Polish cinematography, is also a vivisection of Polish actors, because I mean every great actor who was living in those years played in the Decalogue. How is it possible?
Of course, with some exceptions, there are a few Polish great actors who didn't. We didn't have Tadeusz Łomnicki, Gustaw Holubek, and Zbigniew Zapasiewicz.
Okay, I agree.
And Andrzej Seweryn. That's important because Andrzej Seweryn was outside Poland. He was playing in Mahabharata in India, and probably that's why he didn't play it. But why didn't Kieślowski invite all those three giants? Maybe there was no role for them, and maybe there were no good characters for them. It happens. But everybody else is there. There is Daniel Olbryski, one of the most intellectual role in his life in Decalogue 3. Daniel Olbryski wasn't playing intellectuals in the Polish cinema these days. He was still Kmicic, Azja, and others. There is Janusz Gajos, Krzysztof Globisz, who was probably the very smooth Krzysztof Globisz, who was a star of the 80s. There is Piotr Machalica, who died a few months ago. There is Jerzy Sztur, Ewa Błaszczyk, and of course Aleksander Bardini, who is forgotten, but he was great, and Krystyna Janda, and great theater actors who didn't have a possibility many years to play in the cinema, like great actresses Anna Polony and Maria Kościołkowska, the stars of the Krakow theaters. Why it happened like that? Probably it wasn't by the reason. Kieślowski invited the actors he liked, the actors who were suited for the role. And of course, this movie showed how great is Polish acting market. Let's say we've got great composers, but also, let's say, Polish market of acting in the 80s was great. We've got great theaters and the great movie actors. And let's say all those people, younger or older, who played in Decalogue, were also people with a big life burden, heritage. You know, Maria Kościołkowska was a member of from Decalogue 8, was a member of Polish resistance helping Jews, daughter of the Prime Minister Marian Zyndram Kościołkowski, who was Prime Minister before the war. Here he plays someone who didn't rescue Jews, which is tricky. Aleksander Bardini was a Polish Jew who was hiding in the ghettos and helping people in this ghetto. And it was also tricky that he played this doctor who was against the abortion and for whom all life was sacred. But what is the most important thing in the acting of the actors? Not their heritage, but their play. All of them were good professionals. Let's say when we look at this TV series, you know that every TV series, even much more stupid than Decalogue is, could be better if the actor played so well like they did. And, you know, for me, it's a normal thing that actors played good. I was raised in the times where acting wasn't only the art of the commercial or telenovelas. Now, when I watched a year ago, not before this recording, year ago, Decalogue again, I was so shocked how great this level of acting was 30 years ago. That's probably one of the things we also lost a little thanks to the commercial and capitalistic times after 1990. To say something important about this TV series, it's not a crown. We don't have a main characters the same at every part of the Decalogue, but there is someone played by Artur Barciś, now a little forgotten, but a great theater actor. He still plays in Warsaw Athenaeum Theatre. He was very popular in the 80s. He was a not very tall and sensitive man who played sensitive people. And he's in every part of the Decalogue.
Exactly, playing not important roles usually, small
And
ones.
it was a discussion in 1989, in 1990, who is he? Is he an angel? Or maybe he's a god? Or Holy Spirit coming into us? Or maybe that's an accident. And it was the question never answered by Kieślowski and Piesiewicz. We can still ask Krzysztof Piesiewicz, he's alive, but he will never answer probably. And even Sam Artur Barcic, I had this pleasure to talk with him once, never answered that. Probably that's a thing left for us, for the viewer, to decide who is he: a witness, a blind witness, a god, an angel, or just one of us who is watching at the other people. But
For
still,
For
yes,
me,
it's a
he is a presence of morality, for example. Because when I'm looking at the movie, and we always know what they should do, in fact, but we know how hard it is to do something good, and how difficult, and especially in those situations made here, because those are not easy choices, never. And there's a drama probably of it, and that's how we feel it so realistic and so pessimistic. And there he is, always present, silently, but like this presence is kind of steering.
You know, when I was watching that movie, I was 9 and 10, and I knew everything about the world when you are 9 and 10. I knew how to behave. I knew that father in the first part behaved badly. But now, when I'm 40 years old, I'm completely different. I don't know the world so good like I was as a child. I understand the choices of those people. I understand their behavior. I don't know how I do myself, how I behave myself in such situation. Probably that's a personal statement. I'm much more closer to Kieślowski and Piesiewicz preparing that series than I was when the series was prepared. Let's say Kieślowski gave us a human perspective. We have to watch and think like we behave in that situation too. And of course, we've got also a right for our mistakes and our choices.
Well, that's all important. But the other thing back to the artistic is that Kieślowski, but making such important movie about morality and God, and also immortalized those actors in a way which he invited to this project, and put like kind of a very high standard for them. Because they all cannot deny the fact that they took part in it. They are symbols of this asking about morality. I would say fighting with those questions, fighting with those, looking for answers, and playing also amazingly in it. To the whole world. And now when I look in it, when I watch the Decalogue, I realized how it is absolutely answers like all the questions we have all the time right now. So it didn't get old at all.
You know, you said that very well. The world is changing. That's 30 years, but still we have the same questions. Sometimes very similar answers, the same problems. Actors can say when we ask them, "It was only a play. It was my job. I did it. I did it the best I can." But yes, they are immortalized because even if someone will not watch Deluge or Promised Land in a few years, someone would watch Decalogue and think about this. And Daniel Brysky or Krystyna Janda or already fallen Alexandre Bardini will be still remembered as a members of the cast of Decalogue. And that's immortalization is a great thing given by this series, because that's probably we've got this deep hole in Spitsbergen and Svalbard in Norway when we hide all the literature and the film and the movies and the past artifacts of the culture for the case of the destruction of the world. And I think if I would choose a movie worth to be given there as a most intelligent one made in the history of the world, that's a Decalogue by Krzysztof Kieślowski.
It's a strong statement, but I fully agree with it. Though it's a challenge to watch all of them.
Life is a challenge.
But there's a challenge we give to our audience of Poland Daily, of course, because I do hope that this introduction, especially the one who don't speak Polish, is a good encouragement to just go sit and take one by one all 10 commandments on 10 episodes of the Decalogue, because they are thought-provoking and they are also beautiful artistically.
That's true. That's right. Thank you.
Thank you again for watching Poland Daily Culture.